Welcome to my weekly pet pairing. I am so excited. I haven't done makeup in several days because I worked from home the previous few days and I so miss my sparkly powders. It's going to be a really sunny and warm day today. We haven't seen those much around this year, so I'm going to celebrate by doing a very fun and bright look. I'm just brightening underneath my eyes and concealing a tiny bit with my Auric Glow Lust. It's interesting, she had mentioned that she would have another restock of the Glow Lust at the end of the summer, possibly end of August, and still nothing has been released, so that's interesting. But anyway, I'm still not in a dire need for more Glow Lust because I think I still have quite a bit to go in that bottle. So fun fact, a couple of weeks ago, on the 23rd of August to be more precise, I celebrated quite the milestone. Well, I didn't celebrate it. Okay, celebrate was the wrong word to use because it would imply that I had some sort of a party to mark the occasion. I didn't really mark the occasion by actually celebrating. I just sort of made a mental note that it's been exactly 15 years since I moved to this country, to the Netherlands. I don't originally come from here, if you guys didn't know that. I moved here from Bulgaria, which is a European country on the Balkan Peninsula, neighboring Greece and Turkey and Romania and Macedonia and Serbia. And I was there, living my best life until I was 23, and then I had been doing my bachelor's there for a couple of years, and I was studying biology and chemistry. I knew my heart. Well, I didn't know. I actually had already started a master's in chemistry, and while I was enjoying myself, I also knew that chemistry is not where my heart really lies. I wanted to do molecular biology, so I decided that maybe it's time for me to broaden my horizons and apply for programs, like master's programs, all over the world. Well, not all over the world. At that point I had decided that it's not going to be the US. I didn't want to go as far because at the time I had a boyfriend and the US just seemed a little too far for that. I had concentrated on Europe, and out of the blue I found this master's program which had my name written all over it, and coincidentally it was in the Netherlands. I had never even considered the Netherlands as a place to live. I have no idea why. Probably because I didn't really know much about the country or ever really thought much about it. I was very fond of their football team. During European and World Championships, I was a huge supporter of their team because they played really well. But further than that, I don't think I knew much about the country or ever considered it as a potential place to do my studies. But then all of a sudden I saw this master program and I knew I had to apply. And by a stroke of luck, or circumstances coming together in the most optimal way, I was admitted to the master's program. And then on August 23rd I took a plane for the first time ever. By the way, it was my very first time flying on a plane, and I flew to Amsterdam, to one of the biggest airports you've ever seen in Europe. That was quite the experience. I was completely mortified, not so much because of the flying. I think if it had been just flying, for a holiday, I might have been more excited about the actual flying. I applied my foundation, which was the Dior Backstage, as usual, and I'm going to grab, as usual, my Hourglass Moonlight Ambient Lighting Powder. I'm going to set my face with that. If I had been going on holiday or something, maybe I would have been more excited about being on a plane. I was excited about being on a plane, but I think my excitement for being on a plane was completely, hidden under layers of being mortified of moving by myself to a different country at the, naive age of 23. I really want to focus on using very summery shades today because I'm so excited that it's so nice and warm. So I'm going to take one of my favorites, which is the MAC bronzer in Delphic, which I may have even used in my previous video, but I don't care. It's one of my favorite summer bronzers for many years already. I've had this bronzer since I think 2015 or 2016. Something of the sort. It's a really long time anyway. I remember, that's a little fun detail that I keep thinking about. When I was on the plane, I was sitting next to a little boy. At the time he was 10, and he was flying by himself, with the supervision of an air attendant, back from Bulgaria to the Netherlands because his parents lived in the Netherlands and he was visiting his grandma for the summer, so he was telling me all about it, and he was you know, trying to be a little macho man, telling me all about the Netherlands. When we were on the plane, I was just like grabbing my bag and like looking like I'm about to faint any minute now, and he was just there, you know, a 10-year-old, giving me advice on how to live my life in the Netherlands. So that was funny. I do believe this might also be the second time in a row that I'm using this blush, but fuck it. I'm going to take Electric Bloom from McGrath, which is my newest addition to my Divine Blush collection. I think it's just such a fun summer shade, and I think I need to, you know, make full use of all the warm and sunny days we have left to wear this blush, because I'm sure it's not going to be a blush I'm going to use much during the winter months. I always like to say that I don't use my products seasonally, but if I'm being completely honest, the chances of me using this blush in the winter are pretty slim. If you are curious more about the experiences that I and my friends Alice and Maggie have had being expats in the Netherlands and Belgium, then I'm going to link our glorious 1-hour podcast tag video that we did like 1.5 years ago when we saw each other in real life for the first time. I have met Alice a couple of more times in real life after that. Unfortunately, Maggie I have not, but I really hope that sometime this year the three of us are going to get the chance to hang out again. But if you're curious about our experiences moving to a new country, then I'm just going to leave my podcast for you to listen, because I feel like it's a bit repetitive for me to say these things now that I've already said before. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that it was an important milestone in my life a couple of weeks ago. I'm also going to be super boring and predictable and take Golden Nectar from McGrath to apply as my highlighter. I'm almost completely sure maybe I did the exact same combination of products last time. So I've been thinking recently a lot about whether I should change my nationality, because, you know, I'm not a very like patriotic person. I don't really give a crap what my passport says, as long as my passport is not, you know, preventing me from living my best life, which many years ago having a Bulgarian passport would have been quite the disadvantage, and I might have been more in a hurry to change my nationality. But we became citizens of the European Union already back in 2006, so I haven't had to apply for visas and shit like this. Well, I do have to apply still for a visa if I want to go to the US, unlike Dutch citizens who only need to fill in a piece of paper. So, you know, that might be a reason, but it's not like I fly to the US or Canada every year. Like I said, I'm not a super patriotic person, so giving up my Bulgarian nationality would be like zero problems for me. I really don't care. But I've been thinking about whether it's something I should consider doing, because in a couple of years I would have basically lived half of my life in Bulgaria and half of my life in the Netherlands. And you know what? I have like the biggest, most important milestones in my life, or most of them, I have actually celebrated here in this country, which makes this country a very formative and influential one for me. So maybe I should consider becoming a Dutch citizen. One of the main reasons I don't want to do it, by the way, is because 1, I'm lazy, 2, it's expensive, and 3, I'll have to do tests, which I'm sure I can pass, but the idea of doing a test just mortifies me, because I was done doing tests when I did my master's, and I thought I'm never going to do another test ever again. And now having to go back to doing tests is something that I'm not exactly looking forward to. Anywho, let's proceed to our eyeshadow look. The first of the palettes that I'm going to... Well, we're only going to use 2 today, but the first one I'm going to dip into is the Voyeuristic Vixen Quad, and I'm going to go into this shade over here, which is a gorgeous, like sort of burgundy brown. And I'm going to apply that here in the outer corner, very gently, and start sweeping that back and forth through my crease. I think some time ago one of my friends, another expat who was thinking about changing their nationality, told me that there was this new option for like a shortened and faster procedure and cheaper for applying for Dutch nationality if you like will do. If you meet certain requirements, such as having been married to someone with a Dutch passport, check, my husband is Dutch, for over, I don't know, 5 years or something, which I do. And I feel like one of the requirements was also having lived in the Netherlands for 15 years, which again, check, since last month I do. I just love this shade so much, it blends out so easily, it's incredible. Wow, you must be so entertained by the super random train of thoughts that I've had in my mind this morning. Ooh, shall we speak about something that we both have an interest in? I think Dame Mother is about to show us what she's been cooking in her labs for the holiday collection, because already like last week she posted this inspo image which was not inspiration for Utopian Dream, and it was very like off in the color story. It was like these two like water streams, but instead of water it was like liquid gold pouring into something, and I didn't think much of it except for this looks different than what we've been seeing recently, but okay. And then yesterday she released another promo image with like this cube which explodes into like a million like golden pieces, and then inside there was something red, like geometrical shape, maybe a triangle. I might be inventing that, but anyway, it was another like very like heavily silver gold inspired image, and at this point I am 99.9% sure that these are inspo images for the holiday collection. I'm going to take Intensifies now and apply that all over my lid. So what do you guys think? Are we a little worried if she's showing gold and silver? I mean, I'm happy that it's not pink, but that said, it's not like we don't have enough golds from Pat either. So I am excited and slightly worried what she's going to reveal. I hope it's something fun and sparkly, and you know, chances are pretty high I'm going to buy it, because I don't really buy any other makeup recently anymore. I haven't really been tempted by Natasha Denona's palettes this year. They're pretty, but they just have been nothing for me, including the new mini retro palette. Now let me show you what I'm going to do before we proceed with the rambling. I'm going to take this gorgeous, beautiful fiery red over here called Blitz Flame, and I'm going to apply that on like the outer third of my lid, like here, and moving into the center of the lid. I really love this shade, just using my finger for that, by the way. So yeah, the the retro palette. What did I say, mini before? No, I meant the retro palette. Or it's another one of her midi palettes, which are more monochromatic, like the Glam and the Bronze palette. However, this one leans very like pink, mauve, burgundy, and those are not my tones at all. I like the idea of mauves, and I am happy for everyone who enjoys mauves, but I don't really like mauves. That was also one of the reasons why I got rid of my Modern Renaissance palette, because it was exactly that type of color story and it was just not for me. Okay, and now let's go back into the Voyeuristic Vixen quad and take this gorgeous shade here, which is the VR, no, it's not a VR shade, it is called Rose Fire Nectar, and it has a gorgeous like golden green shift with like this fiery red peachy duochrome shift on it, and I think it's going to look glorious on its own in the inner part of the lid, as well as a little bit over top of Blitz Flame. I'm especially curious how it's going to look like over top of Blitz Flame. Oh, that's really fun. You can't really see it because you're only seeing the part of my dress which is completely black, but part of my dress has like a little red element to it. So I think Blitz Flame and like the whole look are going to fit really well with that little element of my dress. And now for my inner corner, I'm going to take a combination of this Skin Show shade here, as well as this shade, one of the toppers from the Bronze Seduction palette. We want to go for Maximum Blink today. This happens to be one of my favorite Skin Show shades from Pat, because it has a very nice, very light gold shift to it, and it's one of the most brightening shades on my personal, you know, inner corners. A lot of the other Skin Show shades looked like they're going to be brightening on my inner corners, but they end up not being super brightening, and this one is. Now I'm going to stamp a little bit of, I keep forgetting how this shade is called, something with Ghost something. Oh no, Astro Luna Gold. Ghosts. Mariam. I'm really enjoying this. On my lower lash line, I'm going to take this shade from the Bronze Seduction palette, which is the more mid-tone brown, and I'm going to apply this right here into the outer corner and pretty much the whole lower lash line. In my waterline, I'm going to apply this Kiko eyeshadow stick in the number 37, which is also a burgundy brown, just to tie the look together. This is the third time that I'm filming this outro because all of a sudden my camera decided that something's wrong with my memory card, so that's really fun. A little fire on the eyes. I think this turned out really beautiful, but at the same time not too crazy. Do you know that there are people out there who own this eyeshadow palette, the Bronze Seduction? They claim it's their favorite and they never use Blitz Flame. Why? How can you stay away from it? It is so beautiful. And what's even worse, like, I take it as a personal offense when people don't use the special shades in Pat McGrath's Mothership palettes. I always feel like, why did you buy the palette then? That's like buying French fries to only eat the mayo. I did pair the eye look with the Flash 6 lip gloss from Pat McGrath as well, and I actually would advise Pat McGrath to be selling this eyeshadow palette in a set with this particular shade of gloss because I feel like they're made for each other. I hope that you enjoyed this look and my extremely random train of thoughts today. So sorry about that. I'll try to get my shit together better next time. As usual, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!